Alrighty then, hello everybody, it is me, Novum Crafter, or Kevin Jansen for anyone who doesn't know. And for anyone that is new to the channel, welcome. You can definitely enjoy this video, because in the very end, this is something I've been planning on doing for a long time. If you don't know, I've been building a massive server, or not massive, but a big enough server that you should know about by now. It is called The Town. It is something that I really been working on for a while. Also, my doggy's back here. I'm going to get out of my way before anything else happens. Good boy. You want some meat? You want some meat, buddy? We're going to give you some meat before this. You want some fish? Or, where is it? Where is it? And I will treat the dog with respect by giving him cooked steak. Boom. There you go, buddy. You get some nice steak. Now then, I feel like it's very important to say that this video is just an overlook tour. There is nothing important. I'm not going to go into specifics, and I'm definitely not going to go into specific things. Because in the very end, that'll be like a 1-hour video, and I don't think the editor will like that very much. So, let's begin, actually. So today I want to start off with the tour with the Village faction. A classic location. So what this is this is just a rebuilt village. Or, for anyone who doesn't know, I used to have a village on my old server, the second map, and the first map too. So I want to rebuild it completely by updating it. So in return, this is the village faction. I'm going to give you all a sky view of it. And what the village faction has is it has a couple key details that are very important. One, whenever I make a video on the Rifco files or something between, there's always going to be something about me running it, which I do run it. I built the whole village faction by hand. So I will say that I run the village faction, okay? As well as all this, the village faction, if I remember correctly, took me about 4 weeks at most. And it's something that took me a long time to finish, but it looks nice, so I'm going to give you a tour. Now, each building doesn't have a specific purpose. There's a lot of buildings here that don't have any specific purposes at all, but there is specific key details to this location, such as the giant villager statues, and basically that. But then we have, this. I cannot condone what this is. I can't. It is something that I just cannot talk about. Inside of here is an abandoned build that I will like to call the Hellgate. And it is not right to talk about a place that has caused so much harm. I cannot speak on behalf of what the hell is inside of this place. Alrighty then. Now, what the village faction has that has a few key details that are different are it has two giant builds that I like to call the Castle and Slippy Burger, and I might head over to there and do a loop. So first, we're going to talk about the castle, because at the very end, I built this entire elaborate thing to have a mountain. Nah, I'm going to build a castle. This is called the Obsidian Stronghold, or as I like to call it, why the hell is this pig here? Okay, the Obsidian Stronghold is one as a location that I built a while ago. It's based for the Halloween location, or it was meant for Halloween, but I built it too late. And I didn't have a plan with it, so I just started building it, and it looks pretty neat from the outside. Now, I caught a stronghold, but it's really just a giant castle that I just built myself. And it's one of my favorite builds on the server, comparing that it has the most unique structure, and it has one of the most used materials, which is obsidian, to make it. Now, understand that this castle is just built in creative. It's not really hard to build, so if you want to try and build this, you can build it yourself. I don't mind, but enjoy the map and enjoy the server. The second location, so what makes this place very, very different than most locations, is it has Slippy Burger, a well-known establishment that I have made across all my other servers. Now, Slippy Burger, however, is more of a kid-friendly, happy restaurant. It doesn't resemble a very keen location. It's just a nice little burger place for you to sit down and shout out on some meat. That sounded very wrong. Please, editor, do something silly. Put like a picture of a hot dog or something as I say that, please. Now you might notice I started off the build slash video in this building. This building is called Beacon Tower, and it's actually a peace treaty building for both the Village faction and Raider faction. The Raider faction we talked about later, but I want to talk about, you know what, let's talk about the next location. I can't make up my mind. You know what? No. I'm going to go straight to the Kingdom faction and talk about the newest location on the side. If you enter through the side of this amazingly graceful shiny wall, you'll notice that this is called the Raider Outpost. The Raider Outpost will be explained later on, but this is just a simple obsidian mountain that has been plateaued to oblivion and then turned into an outpost area. It took me a while to make with a few bits of help, but in my opinion, I like it. Now, if you go past here, however, you can either go two ways. You can either go through this suspicious tunnel, or you either can go into the restaurant. Now, in return, I feel like I should explain this. This is called Pirate Pizza, or Pirate Pizza, or whatever to call it, how I call it, I don't remember. Pirate Pizza is, or Pirate Pete's, I don't remember, is basically a pirate-themed restaurant. Now, it doesn't seem pirate-themed, but you might notice that it has the chains on the ceiling, it's all wood, and this iconic sign. This location was built originally based off of a pizza joint, where I kind of wanted to build one, but I didn't really have a concept for it. So I said screw it and built one here. Now there isn't really much to the building, it's kind of just for prop build, but it will be used later on, so make sure to keep watching. As well as this, let's enter the Kingdom faction now. I feel like this is a very important build to the server. So this is where this side comes in from. This is the Kingdom faction. The Kingdom faction was originally constructed when I randomly built a random wood staircase, this thing, up to here. It was one of the first concepts I thought of, and I was like, I want to build a castle or something. So this is the Kingdom faction. It might not look big, but god damn it looks beautiful. It's one of the main locations I use as a faction concept. But then we have this thing. I feel like I said for the first portal, do not enter it at all, or you'll be sorry. Alright, but then we also have a bunch of our builds too. Like we have, this is actually built on stream. If you don't know, I did a Minecraft live stream called Building My Server, and my friend MJ joined me, and I built this as a church or something, because why not? As well as this, most of the builds here are just simple, you know, castle builds. They aren't really that important. But then we have a couple smaller areas too. Like, if I remember correctly, there's a couple small areas such as this area here and this area here, which you can enter through a small tunnel going this direction. These two locations are well built, and they're just meant to be small outpost builds for the Kingdom faction. As of now, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. But I want to continue on by going to a place that I think will reside to any of the second map. Remember, Serena doesn't remember the second map. There's a place called Porkington's, or I think it was a pig restaurant or something, that gave you cooked pork. That's it. Now, in return, I thought it'd be interesting to kind of bring the restaurant back. But not bring it back as a building to eat, or a building to have food, or none of that crap. No. You might notice that this is strange, because now we have Porkington Manor. I guess this is kind of an enlarged version of a house. It is a house, basically. Now, I'm going to do a flyby before entering it. So let's begin. Porkington Manor is a concept based around Black Bowser's castle from, if you don't know, from Paper Mario, I think Sticker Star or something, or was it Color Splash? I don't remember. Can you look up a picture of it and paste it on screen? Please, editor, please, like, paste a picture of Black Bowser's castle on the screen. Thank you very much. And then, there you go, thank you. Now, basically, what that is a big old castle that is, well, basically seen as a floating castle, basically. So I basically switched it up to make it a pig head. And instead of putting Bowser, I basically created a giant mansion with you know, a kitchen, you have the bedrooms and so on. But down here is something very different. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this place. But just know that this is something I'm not going to elaborate more on because we have a lot more areas to go to, and we only have like 20 minutes to do this. Now, in return, I feel like it's the best choice of action is to go into the Raider faction and explain this. Now, the Raider faction, for anyone that doesn't know, is a faction of pillagers, raiders, and players who just want to cause chaos and destruction. Though they aren't exactly evil, it is still known that this location is extremely hostile and known to be home of thieves and crooks. Now, in return, there is something in reported incidents where the Raider faction has made peace. They are peaceful, but they're still criminals nevertheless. Now then, I feel like I should be also explaining that this build, or I should have explained, that build up there took me about same amount of time as the village faction, but a bit more for updates due to the fact of how big it is. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Now, let's enter this area. No. Let's enter this area because this area is a bit more newer to the series. This is going to be like their farm. I imagine that since the Raiders have like a farm, they should have at least something. So I made a small farm here of wheat because bread. You gotta get them bread though. And then you gotta go to here, and then you have like a library. Now, in return, I feel like something is off, which is this area. Now, this area here is what I like to call the side city. Now, what this is just a massive side building with a couple more houses. Now, it's strange, because in the very end, something happened here. This entire location is abandoned. It's dead. There's nothing important here, and you should definitely move on. But it should be said that this location, much like the nether portals, should not be entered at all. Any location that looks abandoned or mossy or stone, do not enter it. I'm warning you. Entering it will be dangerous. Don't make me catch you here. Alrighty then, moving on. Sorry about that. I don't know what got into me there. Now we're going into the city faction. The hustle and bustle of the town. The New York of the town. The New York of this amazing server. Now what this location is, it's home of where I like to call my concepts. Where this is the place where I kind of did most of my concept building beforehand. This is kind of where I did all this. And also, this is also linked to the village faction by this direction. Now, I'll explain each building. Each building, over time, or via live stream, one or the other, will have a certain purpose. This will be the main town city hall, which will be updated over time, don't you worry. And there's only approximately a couple stores that are open, as we have a library here, we have a mannequin store, which is something that I don't know why that's important. And then we also have a couple restaurants, too. As well as this, we have I think this is a supermarket or something, because it's pretty nice looking. So this might be a supermarket. I don't know. I put that in later on, but I don't know what it was. Now that I kind of showed off, and then we have the infamous lava fountain in the middle. And we also have a small area over here too. I'm going to go over here so I can kind of explain to you what this area is. Now, there will be areas of the city that are walled off and you need to go through the swamp area, which is adequately given with a nice old bridge because it works out really good actually. Now, in return, this is where the city faction's main higher-ups will be, as these will be the well-known expensive shops. I don't know what they'll be yet. Don't go in my comments and hate on me because there's empty areas. Now, in return, I feel like I should explain two things. Slippy Burger wasn't the first burger restaurant to appear on the server. Now, you might be thinking, Kevin, what's your point in saying that? Because wasn't Slippy Burger the first one? Well, it was first in the Village faction. Welcome to Bronson Burger. Brunzenberger is something that I have made a video on. It's called Welcome to Brunzenberger Trailer or something. But this is Brunzenberger, a massive burger place designed to be a very iconic image. It's one of my favorite builds so far. I gotta say that a lot, but there is so many builds I enjoyed building. Brunzenberger is a very common burger place. Why the hell is there a floor on the bottom? Like, basically, this is just a burger place. A very big burger place. And yes, it's a bit bigger than the Slippy Burger, but I still love it nevertheless, as it is the first burger place to be built on the server as of before any new locations. Now, I feel like I should talk about this location's other side, too. If you also notice, there is a destroyed chicken head, which is resemblant of, well, I didn't show it, but I guess it can fly over quickly. Now, I didn't show this because I completely lost my mind and forgot. But you might have noticed that there is some kind of strange wooden building here. Some kind of big old destroyed old building. This is a Cluckenbell. Yes. Remember that chicken place from my old server? Well, it returned, but not in the way we expected. Something happened here, but I feel like that's another story for another time. Well, another time will be later on, so keep it up to date. Now then, let's continue back to the city faction, because I have not finished off and I completely forgot about it. Now that I kind of showed off, you can kind of see that there is 4 iconic images per location. You have the Slippy Burger logo that is covered in moss and stone. You have the Pirates Pizza logo here, a gold crown, which is still resembling to something, and the Porkington Manor, the Porkington logo, which is actually the Porkington Mansion, which is my favorite. And then you have the ancient one of them all, the abandoned and forgotten Cluckenbell location. But I feel like something should be said. What about a smile? We all love smiles, right? Do you love smiling? Do I love smiling? We probably all love to do a little smile here and there. So why don't you come down to the Smile Shop? Yes, indeed. This place is full of smiles. Just look at those amazing walls. Those amazing wall bits in stone. Look at that amazing roof. Aren't you smiling? I am definitely smiling. I don't feel good. I gotta get out of this place. Alright, that was odd. That was really odd. Something is off. Like, really, really off. Now, I should explain that there is one way to get to this village faction, to this location. Now, in return, you might be thinking, what's this building? Well, if you go straight down the staircase and break both your cankles, you actually will find yourself a tunnel. Entering this tunnel will actually take you to the miner faction, which is not miner like kids, like miner like pickaxe and stone. Don't get that distracted. Please. Alright, so this is the miner faction. It's basically a small mine location where we have a bunch of smaller builds here, maybe some small houses. A very, very non-needed to explain and extremely normal building. And the very much well-known place here. Now, in return, this will be shown off later, but the miner faction does have a restaurant of its own, though it being an ice cream place. And I feel like it's very important to talk about. Now, let's go to this place. Let's actually figure out where to go, actually. So if you go through the cave, you notice that there's some more housing units over there. There's a tent over here. There's 2 houses here, too. There's a lot of houses around here, actually. But if you go all the way up here, it's gonna get chilly. Very, very chilly. It's gonna start snowing. It's frozen up here. Alright. But if you don't know, this is not the Winter Wasteland. And then that doesn't know, I scrapped that location. And in return, you are now in Frosties, a frozen snow cone place where you can get yourself a nice old ice cream or hot cocoa or wherever the frick you get at an ice cream place. I don't play now. But if you might notice, let's say you're bored and you want to go some ice skating or do something entertaining. Well, luckily for you, it has an ice skating rink. I can't speak shit. Now, this location is one of my most updated locations, as it's something I've worked on for a long time, and it's something that I like. Now, I'm going to fly around and show you that this ice skating rink is a giant glacier. That's it. That was lazy. I just built a giant glacier here. And before you ask what's inside the glacier, it's nothing. There's nothing inside the glacier, actually. It's just hollow inside. But that doesn't matter, because in the very end, it's something that I like a lot. And then we have here. That's it. This location, like I said,